What's going on, guys? It's JSGC here, and we are here for This Week in Football. We didn't cover it last week because I only had 2 bits of news, and that's not a video. This week we've had so much more, so I'm going to cover what happened them 2 bits last week and what's happened this week, so we're going to crack on with the video right away. And the 2 bits of news from last week were from the international break. England fans have been acting like morons in Amsterdam as England beat Holland 1-0 at the Amsterdam Arena. They were seen chucking beers at tourists on boats, littering into the canals and chucking bikes in, and you know what I mean? Bad scenes, no need for that. And also the next bit was England drew 1-1 at Wembley against Italy, and VAR ended up dominating that game as Italy were given a penalty late on as Tarkowski brought down one of the players. The referee gave a corner. It's an accidental stamp or trip up, and they end up getting given a penalty. It's a very harsh penalty in my opinion, but there you go, England end up drawing 1-1. So we'll go move on now to what's happened this week. First up, Darren Gibson. Remember him? He's been sacked by Sunderland for a drink driving charge, and so he should. Man City, they have now beaten every single Premier League club this season, at least once now. That's only the 3rd time in Premier League history that this has happened. Chelsea in the 05-06 season, and Manchester United in the 2010-2011 season. It now means that Manchester City face Manchester United in the Manchester Derby. It means if Man City win at the Etihad Stadium, then Man City win the Premier League, which we'll cover next week on This Week in Football if that ends up happening. We've also got the Merseyside derby to look forward to, Everton against Liverpool, before we end up cracking on next week with more European football, which I'll get to in a moment. Chelsea played Tottenham at Stamford Bridge, and it's been dominated the headlines by Christian Eriksen's absolute worldy that he scored. It was a dipping shot, it was Ronaldo-esque, it was a fantastic goal, and it helped Tottenham beat Chelsea 3-1 at Stamford Bridge, the first time that Tottenham have beaten Chelsea in 28 years at Stamford Bridge. And it now means that Chelsea's got a mountain to climb to get Champions League football next season. Tottenham now looking likely for that at their new stadium. West Brom have sacked Alan Pardew. I don't think there's anything else left to be said about that one. He's not had a good time at West Brom. West Brom look like they're getting relegated. Talking of sackings, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, he's also been sacked as the Northampton manager. And we'll move on to the Champions League, and there have been 4 games. That's all quarterfinals on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Tuesday, Sevilla lost at home against Bayern Munich 2-1. They're still in that match though. That's the closest of the matches at the moment. Juventus lost 3-0 at home against Real Madrid as Cristiano Ronaldo does an absolute worldie, doing what Cristiano Ronaldo does, an overhead kick. Absolute fantastic goal. Go and check that out as Paulo Dybala sees red, so he'll be suspended for the next match. On to Wednesday, Barcelona beat Roma 4-1. Roma have got an away goal though, so they've got something to work with. Very unlikely that they'll go through from there though, as Barcelona are a class side. And Liverpool beat Manchester City 3-0 as Man City didn't turn up, and Liverpool absolutely dominated the first half. It now means that Man City are staring down the barrel and looks like they're going out the Champions League, barring some kind of Barcelona-esque miracle against PSG. We'll cover that next week if any of them shocks do happen. I wouldn't be surprised though if we're going to see Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool in the semi-finals. Now, Champions League's all been dominated by one story, and that's Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans said that they wanted to smash up. I covered this on This Week in Football about 2-3 weeks ago. Liverpool fans said they wanted to smash up Man City's team bus, and they've actually done it. Isn't that strange? They've gone through a sea of red, all the flares, and then people decided to start chucking cans, bottles, and whatever else next, injuring their own fans and stuff like that. It was all a bit strange. UEFA have got them on 4 charges, but they're not going to be found guilty of that until the end of May, so they're not going to face any punishment for that. I won't be surprised to see if Liverpool end up getting some kind of fine, maybe even a stadium ban. But it's the scenes you don't want to see. People have said, oh, we're expecting Man City to do the same. I don't think Man City fans will be doing the same as that. I mean, that's pretty disgusting that they've gone and smashed up a bus, but there you go, what can you do about it? We've also had Europa League action too. Atletico Madrid beat Sporting Lisbon 2-0. Arsenal got a good win, 4-1 against CSKA Moscow, so they'll look like they're going to get semi-final of the Europa League, and therefore a chance of Champions League football next season, because they're not going to do it via the Premier League, are they? Leipzig's beaten Marseille 1-0, a good win for Leipzig that as well. And Lazio beat Salzburg 4-2 in Italy. So some of them games evenly poised, so something to keep an eye out for next week on This Week in Football. And last but not least in the news, Nuno Santo. He's been told to fuck off by Neil Warnock as Wolves beat Cardiff in Cardiff 1-0 and 2 penalties in the 93rd and the 95th minute into 5 minutes of added on time as Gary Medine misses the first penalty. They get a corner. From the corner they end up winning another penalty, and Hoyle ends up missing the penalty, hitting the crossbar, and the final whistle goes. Neil Warnock's raging for some reason and tells the Wolves manager to fuck off live on TV, and it's caught by everyone. Neil Warnock doing what Neil Warnock does. There you go. So that's been This Week in Football. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content. Stay tuned for This Week in Football, which will be out next week. We'll have more talking points from Europe and elsewhere. We've got Manchester Derby, Premier League to look forward to, and other football stories from all around Europe and the world. Don't forget to check out my social media, that's in the description below, and you can also check out my second channel and my brother's partner channel. I'll pop them up at the end of this video. You can check out their like and subscribe, that means everything to me, and I'll see you all next week for This Week in Football. Enjoy your weekend. So it's been JSGC, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace, ciao for now.